Chicago, and it got moved, and then moved. But the good thing is that it just so happened to coincide with the miseducation of Lauryn Hill 25th anniversary. Now, I like to tell the people how I was exposed to the music of my parents exposed me to their music. And this music was like a conservatory for me. I grew up listening to Stevie Wonder, to Marvin Gaye, right? To all that Motown, Aretha Franklin, Roberta Flack, right? And I was about 8 years old, and I discovered, somewhere between 6 and 8, and I discovered my parents, their collection of 45s in their albums, and I fell in love. And I played this music over and over and over and over and over again, so much so that I used to disrupt my parents late at night, so I started using headphones. Thank you, I love you too. I started using headphones, listening to music, which meant that I could no longer sleep on my bed because this was before Bluetooth. I had to sleep closer to the player. So I slept on the floor so I could be close to the record player. And the humor about this story is that I slept on the floor for a good 10 years, every night, listening to this music. I say that to say that the miseducation for me was my desire to give that sound to my generation and to give that experience to my generation. I listened to as much contemporary music at that time as I did to these oldies. And in my mind, I saw this fusion, I wanted to present this fusion, and I wanted us to talk about love, you know, in all of its, not all of it, but some of its complexities, right? With some depth. You know, a lot of the music about love at that time was a little bit different, but I wanted to talk about love. I wanted to talk about relationships. I wanted to talk about heartbreak. I wanted to talk about society, right? Because I grew up with albums like What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, right? So there's an incredible social commentary. I wanted to express myself in that way. I wanted to show my generation that we could be as deep, you know, as relevant, as poignant, and as focused and detailed, and sincere and authentic, and still make an impact. And that was the desire, because at the time, the airwaves were doing something a little different, you know? And it wasn't like we couldn't. We just needed an example to show us that we could, you know? And I felt that. I felt that sense of desire, and I felt that sense of urgency and that passion to present to my generation a sound. And you know, funny story, I know I'm talking long, but honestly, I had to take like my elder musicians, my elders, and then I had to take my young boys, and like, you know, fight to bring them together. But when they did come together, the result was beautiful. And not only was it beautiful, but it was something that talked. It was something that talked to. It was something that talked to. It was intergenerational, right? So it resonated with the older folks, it resonated with the younger folks, and everything in between. And thank you so much for 25 years of appreciation. We appreciate you. Listen. Okay, now again, so here's an example of that fusion. You ready? Let's do that.